Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be playing some Fortnite. Now, today we're in creative mode because I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can make your own custom storms within creative mode. This can be useful if you want to replicate Last Circle, especially if you're doing scrims or you're practicing for tournaments. This can be very useful to get used to the storm pushes and stuff that the game has on you. There are some downsides to this, but obviously we can't replicate Storm perfectly as there's no sort of like Storm device that we can use. But we can use, we can make a similar type of Storm, which will still pressure the players. And before we get into any of the building of this, I'm going to be showing you some of the new stuff that have been added to creative mode. As you can see, if we scroll down here, there are different colours now for the obstacle course gallery, and now they're all sectioned into their own colour now. So all the different parts and floors and like walls and stairs are now been sectioned all together into one little pack. So if you want a green like obstacle course, you can just equip that one. So you have to equip all three like floors, walls, and stairs together. They also added the new chest into creative mode. So if you go to the block, you might see this new chest. This guarantees you a legendary item, which is pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure all the blocks to come will have this chest in it somewhere. They also added these visualizer galleries, so if there's any music playing on the map, then that will show it. Some of these cool bridge girder galleries look pretty cool. It kind of looks like some parkour type things and like skateboard type things. I'm not sure what they are, but looks really cool as well. You got these nice ring galleries, some light rings, maybe if you're flying through using planes and stuff. They've also added some new elemental cubes, which are basically just like water, basically. These don't slow you down, but they don't have any hitbox, so you can phase right through them. So maybe if you want to have like some trap or something, where the player jumps into one of these and there's a trap underneath, be a pretty cool one. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's it though. All galleries and stuff that have been added. So yeah, back onto the videos. I'm going to be talking how you can actually make your own custom Fortnite storm in creative mode, because as you can see in creative mode there's really no device to make storms with, except from the music sequencer, which I'll show you how it'll work right now. So we build up like this and grab the music sequencer right here. If we place this down, as you can see, as we click on this, a little field will go across. Now this music sequence is actually meant to play music without you having to run over the music blocks. So if you guys didn't know, if you go into the galleries, you can see there's these new music blocks that have been added, which allow you to make your own custom songs and stuff within Fortnite, which is pretty cool. And these music sequences play them at different speeds and stuff. So yeah, you could have these set up and have the entire world be playing music and stuff. Really cool. So we can actually customize this, and a cool option of this music sequencer is the damage. So this music sequencer can actually do damage. Now, there's no zone to the music sequencer, it's just a force field, so if you get hit by it, you won't start taking damage slowly. It will just do like a certain amount of damage. This is why I want it to be set to elimination, because if you hit it once, you'll die, and if you have it in any other setting, then if it will only do like 20 damage or so, it will never keep on doing 20 damage. So you can't have a constant tick of damage. So it won't replicate the storm perfectly. It will kill you instantly if you touch it. But it will be good enough to push you along, and it's kind of the best we can do right now. So you can only have it on elimination mode right now. And as you can see, when you set it to do damage, the force field actually turns to red with a little lightning bolt signal. That just tells you that it can actually do some damage to you. If it's blue, that just means it's harmless, and that's just playing music. So now we can actually customize this. We can actually change the length of that. As you can see, it's only 4 blocks wide. Forwards, I mean. So it's only 4 blocks forwards. We can actually change that. We can actually go up all the way up to 100. So as you can see, if we go scroll down here, up to 100 here. All these can go up to 100, so this is height, width, and length. As you can see, it takes up the entire map, I'm pretty sure. And if we hit this, you'll see a massive force field go across. Yeah, if you see, you can't really see it from it yet. As you can see, there's a massive force field going across the entire world. Yeah. So basically what we're going to do with this is that we're going to have 2 on either side. Now you can have 4 around the entire map. That's sort of like an enclosure zone. We're going to have 2 on each side because that's the easiest, and they'll push you in from side to side. So we're going to have 2 of these set up on both sides, and basically we're going to have to activate them at the same time, and then both storms will come in at a slow speed. Now as you can see, when we hit this, it's actually going faster than we can chase it. Well, we can chase it when we're flying, but when we're running, we can't chase it. It just goes too fast. But you can actually change the tempo of the music sequencer. So if you don't want it to be that fast, let's say you want it to be slower than actual running speed, I'll give you a tip right here. So the running speed's around 59 beats per minute, around 58 or so. So if you want to be able to outrun the storm, then make sure it's under like 50 something. Otherwise, it's going to be way too fast. You won't be able to outrun it. So yeah, past under 60. I like to have it at like 10 to 20, because that's an average speed. Doesn't seem that bad. If you want your games to last a bit longer, I'd suggest like 9 or so. As you can see, the storm's kind of going kind of slow, but it's enough to push you in. Yeah, so it's not really that fast, but it's still fast enough that you have to be pushed in by the storm. So that's pretty cool. Now all we have to do now is just set these up on both sides, and we should be able to make our own storm. So if we go over here, and we place a music block here, we have this all set up. And one thing I didn't tell you guys is that you can actually have multiple music sequences linked up to each other. So when we hit this one, it will actually activate this one as well and have a double field going across. As you can see, 2 fields are going across. That's actually a pretty cool feature, which I might, like, you could implement that using a force field. Maybe the first one does 50 damage and the second one does 50 damage, so you can kind of go in a storm for a bit and then come back out. But yeah, that's probably get too complicated, and there's probably no point of doing it. But as you can see here, we're going to set this up. So now we need to line this up perfectly with the other end, because that's where we're going to put the other music sequencer. So we're just going to fly over to the other end here and place the music sequencer. Now, obviously this map's not the best. If you want to do like an actual scrim type match game, then you're probably going to want the block flat worlds, because that's where you can actually have all the like space you want. So is that the same? Yeah, it is. Right. So we're gonna have it off world here, kind of, and make sure that when you spawn these in, the force, like the field area, is gonna be to your right where you spawn it. So if you spawn it this way, it's like the thing is gonna appear this way. So if you want it to go this way, you'd come at it like this. So make sure all the field always goes to the right of you. So when you're spawning these in, make sure you take that into account. As you can see, the field spawned this way. Now we just need to customize this. I just set these all to 100. There's no point measuring out the entire width. There we go, all 100, and setting this back down to the same speed as the other one. Make sure it's the same speed. Set this to like 50, and I'm pretty sure. A bit annoying that you can't go down like super fast. You can't hold it at the minute. So it'd be really cool if they could add a feature where you can hold it and it'll go down really faster. And then they'll be able to make these like small increments as well, because these go up in like 20s or so. Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool if they could make that a bit small increments. But for now, we can just do that way. I just went past it, yeah. And this one's got to do damage as well, elimination. And also these other things here we're not going to touch at the minute. You can actually look around on this. Direction, it's basically which direction the force comes from. You can make it go bounce, which means it'll hit the edge of it and then come back, which is a pretty cool one. And you also get reverse, which comes from the back to front. So it'll go the other way from forwards. Trigger is active. This basically means it's always active. So if you don't have it on here, when you step on it and come off it, it'll stop it. Zone visible in game, so you can turn this off so the zone's not actually visible in game and you won't be able to see it. Trigger type, this is just the trigger. You can set it to a on-off switch, so when you hit it, it'll turn on, and when you hit it again, it'll turn off. These are simple things that every single one should have. Looping, you can set this to infinite if you want to, or just keep them going back and forth, and that you can have all different times that you want to loop, but we're just going to have that off because we're only going to loop it once. Right, so now when I hit this, you guys should see a new force field appear like that. Now, how do we actually make these two go off at the same time? Because as you can see, we've got two force fields coming in from each end. This one's coming in from this end, and this one's coming in from this end. Well, like I said before, you can actually link these up together and actually make them hit each other. So if we use another one that's over here somewhere or on this side, then we can actually make these two go off at the same time using another music sequencer. And you can start the storms at the same time, so you don't have to like have a buddy or something that hits this at the same time when you do like a countdown or something, and you both hit it at the same time. You can just have like a button which sets them both perfectly in sync. Now, as I just place this, I'm gonna have to get this all the way down to 15. It's kind of annoying. I think the max tempo is 180, so about 3 times your sprinting speed, which is quite fast. So yeah, these are not really made to be storms, but they can do damage, which is why we're using them. But they're made for like music and stuff, so if you've seen all those music things where you have to run forwards and that, and to actually activate all the music blocks, then these basically help with that, as they allow you to like make it do automatically. We hit this now, as you can see we've got a new storm, and you'll kind of see how this works now. So we have 2 storms on each side, they're closing in at the same speed. And as you can see, that'll be pushing players. Maybe we'll have up to like 16 players in one match, all scrimming together in the middle here. The only downside of this is that it doesn't do gradual damage when you go outside of the storm, because you don't know which is outside and which is inside. There's no way to tell. So as soon as you hit this barrier, you will die. So yeah. As you can see, they'll both meet at the middle, but this is technically not the middle. The middle's over here. It's because we set this one off first, and then we did this one. So now we've actually got to make a system which sets them both off at the same time. So we have to find where this is under. So right, so the top of it's around here, so that's where it is. Now what I like to do is just have a little 1 by 1. Let's just cover this up here. So we have a little platform here. You can make this out of like invincible material, by the way. This is just for the thing. Now what you want to do is have a spawner. What you want to do is have a spawner which is set to player 1. Now the reason this is set to player 1 is because when you spawn, somebody's gonna be set to player 1, because player 1's like the default one. So you set this to player 1. Someone's gonna get this one, so the person that gets this one is actually gonna be able to start the actual challenge. So what they're gonna do is jump down here, hit the music block. That will activate these 2 at the same time, and everyone will start. So there'll be like a countdown or so. You guys can figure that out. But if we hit this one here, like I was saying about the music sequences can actually activate themselves, that's what we're gonna use here. So we're gonna hit this. And then that's actually going to activate both of these at the same time. Now the reason this is quite low down is because when these 2 force fields come over, they can actually hit this again and it will reset them before they actually come into the middle, which is why this is down here. So when you hit this, when you start the game, you build up, you do whatever. So yeah, you don't really have to make it down there, but you got to make sure that's actually lower than the barriers here, which is why I put it down here. Now you want to set this to be, you don't really need, the height doesn't really matter, it needs to be at least like 10 or so, depending how low you put it on the ground. And then I set the length just to 100 it again. 100, and then we set the tempo to as like fast as you can get, so 180. That's just to make sure like it starts the game like really fast, instead of having to wait for the storm to reset again. So as you can see, 180. Everything's set, no damage on this one because it's not going to kill you. This is going to set this, as you can see, once this force field actually hits these music sequences over here. See, look, the 2 zones reset and they'll start coming in. Now, this is when you want to start your game, so someone's going to spawn here on your game. So you're going to, maybe if you have another few spawners over here where people spawn in, and you also have a spawner which gives them weapons and stuff, then the person that spawns here is going to call the countdown, so they're going to go 3, 2, 1, and then jump on this. That's going to activate the blue signal, which is going to go across, reset the storm, and actually make it so you're able to have custom storms, and then you guys can go edit out, do your scrim, whatever, with this cool storm coming in. And it basically just allows you to have a better experience. Now be warned, any like dips in the ground like this, players will actually be able to dodge this. This is why I recommended the block world, because you can set it up so that you can actually have the entire world flat, but if you have places like this you might want to flatten out, because otherwise you're going to be able to dodge under the force field, which is probably not a good thing, because then the players will be able to survive longer without getting damaged. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy making custom storms, like I said, like you can go under storms right here, you won't take any damage, so you might want to block these off. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy these videos about Fortnite creative and all these different things that you can do with it, make sure you're subscribing, liking these videos on Fortnite, because I will be doing some more and other videos as well on my channel. So yeah, make sure you're subscribing, liking, and also comment down below any other suggestions on games I should play. And that's about it. Thank you for watching my tutorial, and see you later.